Overwatch patch 1.8 is live and available for testing now on the PTR, and boy is it a doozy with a total rework of Bastion, buffs to Mercy and D.Va, permanent edition of Capture the Flag, a brand new server browser, and custom game options, which can drastically change up the future direction of the game. I shit you not, it's a pretty big deal. Here in this video, I'm going to go over and show you all of these changes to give you guys a good idea of what to expect for when this patch finally goes live. Let's go ahead and get things started with the Bastion rework. I'm sure that's what most of you are interested in. He got a total overhaul. It's almost like he's a new hero. We got a lot to work through here. Let's start things off with the configuration sentry. The deploy time has been decreased from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. Bullet spread increased by 50%. Bullet spread is now always at maximum. Magazine size has been increased from 200 to 300. Headshot damage multiplier has been removed, and he can no longer deal critical damage. Sentry mode, overall, it's a nerf. Now, you know, the deploy time's been decreased. The magazine size was increased by a significant amount. But the fact of the matter is that bullet spread increased by 50% is a huge nerf to anything other than the side of a barn if it's not right in front of your face. You know, they talked about how they're changing Bastion to a tank buster, but it's basically just that tanks are the only thing he's gonna kill at a moderate distance. Yeah, if someone's pretty close to you or right in your face, Bastion's still gonna shred them apart. His damage hasn't been reduced, but the fact that the bullet spread is increased by 50% is that targets further away from you, they're just gonna get hit by a lot less of your bullets, which then means you're doing a lot less damage. But everything else that came to Bastion was a big buff. Recon mode got a buff. Bullet spread decreased by 25%. Magazine size increased from 20 to 25%. His self-repair can now be used while moving, is no longer interrupted by taking damage, and has a resource bar similar to that of D.Va's that depletes as you use it. Configuration tank got a nerf in that it doesn't grant bonus armor. However, with this, he has a new passive called Ironclad, which gives Bastion 35% less damage received while in sentry or tank configuration. Overall, this is potentially a buff to Bastion's, I guess we'll call it viability. We're gonna need to give it time, see how it plays out in the hands of everyone, but it's looking pretty good for Bastion. Now let's move on to some of the other hero changes. Next up is D.Va. Defense matrix has now changed so that projectiles no longer need to travel a minimum distance before they can be blocked. And essentially what this means is she can block stuff that's right in her face or right in allies' faces, like when a Roadhog hooks an ally, you can stop them from getting one shot. If someone's right up in your grill, you can prevent the damage with Defense Matrix now, so that's a nice buff for her. Mei got kind of a quality of life change, Cryo Freeze. Now Mei can be targeted by allies while in Cryo Freeze. Torbjorn also got a change. His ammo is now loaded earlier in the reload animation. What this of course means is he's technically reloading faster. And then Mercy. Mercy got a change to her Resurrect, and now while performing Resurrection, Mercy becomes temporarily invulnerable along with the allies being revived. Now Mercy's got that time to cast Resurrection, she'll be invulnerable, and then hopefully she can fly to one of her teammates once that invulnerability ends, and she'll no longer just die in the process of casting Resurrection, so that's clearly a buff. So those are the buffs to heroes. There's also a sensitivity adjustment that was made for heroes like Zenyatta and Ana, anyone who's got an ability that can target an ally or an enemy. You know, the things where you hover over someone with your crosshair. Well, essentially the sensitivity is now scalable. You can reduce it or increase it to a maximum, and the difference is substantial. The idea here is that you can make it so that it requires more accuracy to actually throw out that buff or that debuff, for example, and that'll stop you from accidentally hitting someone like Ana nano boosting Lucio by mistake, for example. The map Eichenwald got a change as well. The second gate on the map no longer closes after the payload passes through the castle doors. Instead, now there's just some rubble from the damaged doorway that will partially block the entrance. The idea here was that once you moved into that phase of the map, it became extremely favored for the defense, and what they're thinking here is if they give the attacking team some different options in terms of their line of sights and their abilities to approach moving into that portion of the map, this new open doorway gives them more options to hopefully make it it more likely that they'll be successful. Next up, we've got the permanent inclusion of Capture the Flag. Blizzard said that Capture the Flag has by far been the most popular mode in arcade, and that actually kind of surprised me that it surpassed the popularity of 3v3, but apparently that is the case. So because of this, once the Year of the Rooster event is over, Capture the Flag is not going away. It's going to be added as an ongoing mode into the arcade, and new Capture the Flag versions of the maps Nepal, Lijiang Tower, Ilios, and Oasis have been added. So that's all points on those maps. So it's 12 total maps that are added now for Capture the Flag and can be enabled in custom games. This is really exciting, and this coupled with the changes to custom games and server browsing might just make for a new, exciting, player-driven future for Overwatch. So let's talk about this, starting with the addition of the server browser. As the name implies, this is going to be an interface that allows you to browse through various user-created servers with different variables like specific maps, specific game modes, specific heroes, and kind of let people make their own tailor-made servers that anyone in the population can do. So basic examples are, I just want to do Capture the Flag map, or I just want to do a payload or control point map, or a hybrid, or whatever. You could search for servers that are just those modes if you want to practice on them. Or if you want to practice specific heroes, you could do that. But changes to custom games really put the power in our hands to make some really crazy stuff. So here's the thing. We can do now not only certain maps that we want to practice or certain game mechanics, like say you just want to practice headshots, you put on headshots only, McCree without any skills, there you go, you can do that. But new crazy modes can be looked at. We can turn off individual skills for heroes. So let's say we take away McCree's flashbang, we only give him a combat role and a shooting. We can also change the speed of things. Like you can make it so that if you always thought the payload maps that the payload should move faster or slower, you can change that. If you thought that capture the point maps, the point capture should happen faster or points should accumulate faster or slower, you can change that. You can change things per the team. You could have one team with one hero who has a boatload of health, like triple his normal health, and the other team has less health. So you could kind of make this makeshift PvE, not PvE, but this kind of boss mode, like a juggernaut, for example. We got one huge roadhog on one team and all these frail Genjis on the other team. Let's see if we could kill the roadhog. All sorts of crazy potentials. They even talked about the fact that you could adjust Pharah's missile speed, for God's sakes. Like, that's insane. I cannot emphasize enough the world of possibilities that the server browser, coupled with all of the new options coming to custom game customization, is going to make for us. This really could help dictate the future of Overwatch. It basically lets us try a lot of the different things that we've thought about, that we've wanted, capturing faster, points accumulating faster, payloads moving faster. It's really, really awesome. I'm really excited to see what the community does with this and the sort of new modes that come up. And hopefully Blizzard continues to add to this and adds more customization and options for the server browsers and the custom games. It can only do good. The community is given the power to make what they want, and people are playing things kind of based on a democracy. Just they're playing what they enjoy, not just what Blizzard hands to us, what they thought internally we will like. So lots of stuff coming in patch 1.8. Big changes. It's going to be a pretty exciting time. Now, these changes are on the PTR right now. As always, we expect these to go to the live servers in the coming weeks, and I am pretty excited. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.